So this is the 7th trip in a series of bilateral trips that we've been doing throughout Latin America. And why we choose Paraguay? Paraguay is an interesting country. It's a country that has a lot of contrasts between the haves and don't-haves. You can see poverty at its worst here, but then you can see hope at its best. The group was a group of 2 affiliates. They came because they care about the issue, they came because they wanted to learn, and they came because they want to be advocates. They want to know how we find solutions. They want to know how they join their voice to find a permanent solution to housing and to the land issues that affect these countries.
This is my 3rd Build Louder trip. Every one of them is a little bit different. They each have their own personality, their own character. Every one of them is special. I like these Build Louder trips because they mix the construction and work with the families, but also with advocacy. You learn about the community, you learn about the community's needs, the problems of that individual country, and yet you have the opportunity to advocate for those people, for social justice, for betterment for these communities.
I chose to do a Build Louder trip because I wanted to get the most out of the experience, and in order to learn the most and have the most impact, you need to understand the most, and this trip gave us the opportunity to dig deeper into the whys and the whos of the problem. My favorite part of this trip was the visit to Arroyos y Esteros because I was able to put a person's face and real human stories behind the issues, and I could use that to fuel my questions and my interest in the rest of the meetings.
The visit to the slum today at Chacarita was overpowering. You got to see that incredible contrast between this historic community, the informal settlements just down from the historic community, all just below the historic old part of the city. You can see the cathedral up there on the hill, and people living in absolute poverty, but almost invisible, out of sight, out of mind. But the people that we talked to were very proud and very protective of their community, and that really made an impression on all of us. The favorite part of every one of these projects is the build itself, interacting with the families on site, being able to see in their eyes and their expressions that you're making a difference in their lives, and that hits you right in the heart.
Oh, if I had to come up with a favorite part, I couldn't put it into just one thing, because I think the overall experience itself was so tremendous. Learning from the different people and hearing their stories and seeing how passionate they are was certainly very moving to me. I think that the impact of this trip for me is when you really learn to embrace a culture, when you go back, you end up taking a little piece of that culture and that tradition with you, and it influences the choices you make. It's kind of like hitting the reset button. You come back and you have a different frame of reference, and you're more appreciative of the small things. You have a better ear, and then you also have a better voice. And I think that that's really what was accomplished here.
As a volunteer coordinator, when I return home to my host affiliate, I will be able to talk more in depth about the effect of advocacy and how people can individually help to solve problems.
We had some very good meetings with the Ministry on Housing, with the U.S. Ambassador, with NGOs who were working to improve conditions in this community. It was a good advocacy trip. I feel like we opened doors for the local office that will help lots of people after we leave.
We achieved all the objectives that we have in this trip. every single objective of opening the door for the national office, we did. The objective of helping the national office increase their funding from the government of Paraguay, we did. At the end of the meeting with the Ministry of Housing, I asked him for additional assistance, and the surprise was that he offered us $50,000 to build 5 houses instead of the arroyos. We met the objective, and we're very happy with the result. I don't have any doubt that the volunteers that came in this trip are living enriched of what they saw, what they did, what they came to learn. They came as construction volunteers, a weekend volunteer. They're living as advocates, and that is increasing the knowledge and the number of people that really care about the issues of habitat.